When South Carolina plays LSU, it's going to be the most important game of Shane Beamer's career. It has a lot of implications for the playoffs, for the start of the season, for the fan base. Since taking over as the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, Shane Beamer is yet to start off his season 3-0. In fact, he always has two losses within the first 4 weeks of his seasons. In 21, 22, and 23, they were all 2-2 or worse in his first 4 weeks, meaning they were already eliminated from the playoffs. In the 4-team format, if you had two losses, it was virtually unheard of to get into the playoffs with two losses. And if you're South Carolina, there's no hope in the fan base with those two losses there, and there's no hope to make the playoffs. On top of that, South Carolina has never beat a ranked opponent in 2021 and in 2023. The only time they beat ranked opponents was in 2022. And in 2022, they beat a number 14 Kentucky, a number 5 Tennessee, and a number 8 Clemson. Great victories, but not meaningful to their program. When they beat number 14 Kentucky, they had 3 losses already. When they beat number 4 Tennessee, they already had 4 losses. And then when they beat number 8 Clemson, again, they had 4 losses. Meaning those were signature losses for Tennessee and for Clemson and even for Kentucky because they were all in the playoff mix at the time. But once they lost those games, they were virtually eliminated from the playoffs. South Carolina, they won those games, but they were an upset team. There's no implication for them to get in the playoffs because they already had 3 or 4 losses at the time, and there's no chance you're making the playoffs with that many losses. Now fast forward to 2024. South Carolina is 2-0, and they're playing a ranked LSU opponent at home. Although they do have a tough schedule ahead, they play 5 other ranked opponents, including Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Clemson. Who's to say they're going to win any of those games? But this game is the most impactful because it allowed for them to be ranked for the first time since November of 2022. They'd be 3-0 for the first time in his entire coaching career. They would have their signature win when playoff implications are still alive, and it would ignite the fan base. College Gameday is in Columbia for the first time in 10 years. Although it might provide false hope, we don't know what the season has in store for the Gamecocks or for any team, right? I think it's easy to say they probably won't be favored in the other 5 ranked matchups, just like they're not favored against LSU. It's going to ignite this team and ignite this hope in the fan base to say, you know what? We have a chance. And that's something that South Carolina has missed for the past 4 years under Shane Beamer is hope. They've never had hope to be good. They never had hope to say, well, we can make the playoffs. I think beginning of 2022, when they had Spencer Rattler, there was some hope, but it was lost immediately after they lost to North Carolina week 1. If they can pull off a victory over LSU at home with all the excitement and the crowd packed out, it's going to allow for Shane Beamer to move him off the hot seat a little bit. It's going to ignite the fan base, potentially ignite this team, and allow for them to see that, hey, we might actually have a real chance at contending for a playoff spot. Again, it would also allow for some more leeway. Winning 3 of those 5 games is obviously going to be a challenge, but if you can beat an LSU team and pick up some momentum, I think the ability to win those games is entirely possible. Again, is it realistic that they're going to win any of those games? No. I would say, picking on biasly, they're probably going to go like 1-4. I think they could beat a Missouri or an Ole Miss, but it would just provide hope for a team that has yet to have it under Shane Beamer in 4 years. So all in all, beating LSU is a very impactful and meaningful game to Shane Beamer because it's the biggest game of his career. It'd be the first time the Gamecocks would start off 3-0. It'd be the first time they would beat a ranked opponent when it was actually impactful to them making the playoffs. It'd be the first time they would be ranked since November of 2022. And it would also provide hope to this fan base since the beginning of 2022, right before they lost to North Carolina in the season opener. You guys let me know your thoughts. Will South Carolina win this game, and how impactful do you think this game is to Shane Beamer and the entire Gamecocks organization? Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.